Hey guys, Hez here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to League Discussion, the series that I take a topic and rip it apart with my own opinions and experiences and encourage you guys to join in the conversation in the comment section below. Now, just to remind everybody, when I have a bit more free time, and I know a lot of people go, oh, you're a YouTuber, you have free time, blah, blah. I'm very busy right now with a lot of background projects. Again, just to kind of mention, I am looking to move out in a few months, and to do that, I need to have more job security, so I'm doing a lot of background projects to kind of give me that security. So when I have more free time, firstly, a second video of the day will be gameplay videos. Obviously, with the changes upcoming to the channel, there will only be probably one video a day anyway. But obviously, my main account stuff will be coming back soon. But then also, whenever I do League discussion videos, there will be gameplay on the screen. But again, the only time I'm playing League of Legends right now is when I'm recording for Unranked to Diamond. So don't really have any free time to play other than that. But let's talk about the topic that I'm going to be talking about today. And that is, what do people consider high rating? What is high rating? What is low rating? And how do you differentiate the different types of how people judge it? So the two different types that I want to be talking about today is, one, what should be kind of just a default, this is high rating for the community as a whole. And then the more important point that I believe is, what as an individual do you consider higher and low rating? So let's just firstly just quickly say, I really want to have feedback in this one, because I think it's a topic that does create a little bit of tension, because everybody's quite defensive over their own rank and nobody wants to be considered bad or low rating. So I will want to hear from you guys, and the reason for doing this topic, just to kind of add, is I have a Discord server, public Discord server, anybody can join. I think the join link is Huzzy Games. You just put that into invite on Discord and you'll get in. And then the people were talking about something. I caught the tail end of a conversation yesterday, and people were talking about getting to different ratings. And then one guy chimed in going something like Diamond 5 is low rating, or something like that. And it was the only thing he said, because everybody had a reaction to it. And he didn't say anything else. So maybe he was just looking to trigger people, or maybe he genuinely thought that way. I'm not sure. But I just thought talking about this could help some people, because trust me, I've had people message me, and again, I get a lot of messages. I've had bronze people telling me that they want to be an LCS, you know. I've had a lot of messages, and I've had a few that people are brand new to League of Legends, and they feel already Diamond is low rating for them, and they haven't even played Ranked yet. You know, it's a very weird thing that's happening, that, you know, newer players or lower rated players feel that the higher ratings are kind of bad. And I'm going to tell you right now why I believe that is happening. Is because of content creators. It's because of YouTubers. It's because of streamers. And the reason for it is the really popular ones naturally are quite high rating of all the ones that people watch. So PewDiePie, Skara, Doublelift, Dyrus. These guys get high rating for fun. You know, they can take an account and get it to stupidly high rating, you know, higher than I can, really, really easily. And so when somebody watches that, no matter what rating they are, they straight away assume that it's very easy. That they straight away assume going, oh, getting Diamond is a piece of cake, because that guy just did it in nothing at all. And obviously with my own Unranked to Diamond series, I'm making it look quite easy without even playing that well. You know, we're going to get to Diamond in less than 100 games easily. Right now we're around 65 or something games, and we're in Platinum 1 from a completely fresh account. So a lot of these people that are newer to League or lower rating League, they look at these situations and go, it must be easy. You know, they're doing it. They're not doing anything special. The problem is, what people don't know about League of Legends, especially if you're new, is there are a lot of background stuff going on. So people may look at the face value of my videos and go, oh, he's not playing well, but he's winning. But there is so much decision making and stuff going on in the background that people don't know or notice, and only the people that have been playing League for a while will notice. Which, again, if you're a newer player, you won't. And that's why some people get the perception that being Diamond 5 isn't all that special. But just to tell everybody, Diamond 5, in a percentage, in a percent, you're in the top 1% of the game if you get to Diamond 5. So even though people make it look easy, you are still in the top 1% of the game. And to be honest, you're probably less than 1% if you took out all the Smurf accounts. Personally, me right now, I've got like 3 accounts in Diamond. So if you took out my accounts and if you took out other accounts, because the most popular area, by the way, for Smurfs to be generally would be higher rating, because the higher rating people are the people that have the Smurfs. So if you take out all the Smurfs and only left people's main accounts, you'd probably be in the top 0.6% for being Diamond 5, roughly. 0.7% maybe. So when you actually take that off face value, if you're in the top 0.7%, top 1% of anything, you're doing quite well. In any video game, in a sport, you're doing pretty well, right? So as a community, as a League of Legends base, I think most people should consider Diamond 5 very high rating, extremely high rating. I'd probably start to say the community should probably start thinking high rating would be probably Platinum, and then Diamond 5 being pretty damn high rating. And then when people go, what about Master and Challenger? Yeah, those players are godlike. Those are the players that play a lot every single day and are good. People have the misconception that if you just play a lot of League of Legends, you'll get high rated. I can tell you right now that is false. I have known people, I have tried to help people that play 10 games a day minimum since season 1 and still are in bronze. Playing a lot does not correlate to improving. You actually have to look to improve to go up. That's just the first point. Again, this is the smaller point that I just want to make, is if the top 1% isn't considered high rating, it's a little bit weird. So as a community, if ever you see a Diamond 5 player, regardless of what rating you are as a base, you should consider that person high rating. Again, just to kind of add, the average player in League of Legends right now, so if you're watching this and going, I wonder where I am in this whole thing, the average player roughly is Silver 4, Silver 3 to Silver 4, is the average player in League of Legends. It probably is lower than that, though, because majority of players in League do not play ranked, and the average skill level is lower in normals than it is ranked. If you took the average player in a normal game and an average player in ranked, which is Silver 4, the Silver 4 player would be better than that normal player. So if all those normal people who play normal games only came into ranked, the average player would probably be Bronze 1, like it would be lower. So when you consider the average person technically right now is Silver 4, obviously, yes, the majority of this community and the community as a whole should consider Diamond as high rating. And again, that's where I feel that the content creators, the pros, etc., don't help a lot of the time, because whenever someone streams, they give a donation to Doublelift and they go, what do you think is low rating? What do you think is high rating? Doublelift will go, oh, anything below Diamond 1's trash. Again, we're going to be talking about that in a second, but as a community, you have to look at percentages, and Diamond 5 or even Platinum should be considered high rating. So that's the first point out the way, and that's the smaller point, really. The second point is that Doublelift thing. So why would Doublelift consider Diamond 1 and below trash? Or why would PewDiePie? Why would anybody consider that trash if they're in the top 0.1% of the game, technically being in Diamond 1? It comes with personal experience. So I can ask you right now, I'm looking at you in the camera and go, what is your current rating? What do you consider low rating? What do you consider high rating? And you'd give me an answer. Now, some of you would give me an answer that is relative to your own rating, and some people would give me the generic answer. What I'm looking for is people to give me, proper reasonings. So for me personally, let's talk about my history. So when people ask me when I'm streaming a lot of the time, what do I consider high rating? I answer Diamond 3. Even though my main account, by the way, is in Diamond 4 right now. So I don't consider myself, as an individual, extremely high rating. And this is where I might confuse some people. Again, we are separating what I feel is high rating as a community and high rating as an individual. So as an individual, I feel Diamond 3 and above is what I'd consider high rating, is because of personal experience. So I would always look at the rating system as what is achievable and what is a little bit more challenging. So getting Diamond 5 to me is very achievable. That I do not have any difficulties ever getting Diamond 5. I do it every season on Unranked Diamond on a completely fresh account. Do it obviously every single season on my main account. I've got no difficulties with Diamond 5. So I do not consider as an individual that to be that high rating, because it's so achievable for me. Diamond 4, it's roughly the same as Diamond 5, maybe a little bit, good, because Diamond 5 is known as a cesspool full of people that just don't really care anymore. They get their Diamond badge, they get their Diamond border, and stop caring. So Diamond 5 sometimes is a little bit difficult to get out to, but then Diamond 4 is okay. But then I've always found Diamond 3 to be the rating that separates Diamond. If there was another tier of League of Legends, I wouldn't make it above Diamond 1, I wouldn't make it below Diamond 5, I would make it at Diamond 3 and above. I would separate Diamond 5 and Diamond 4 to Diamond 3, because they are so different. It's unreal. It is like you've joined a different complete league. And the reason for it is, again, when you get to Diamond 3, you're obviously getting a little bit better at the game. You are separating from the people that don't care anymore and that just kind of try new things or troll or whatever just because they got Diamond, they've stopped caring. So you're getting rid of those people. And because there are less players in the community at the high rating, when you get to Diamond 3, you start playing with Diamond 1s and Diamond 2s and occasionally Master people, and the game starts to feel a lot more serious. So that's where I personally think the higher rating threshold for me as an individual is because of my personal experience. Again, this is from somebody that, yes, as I've been Diamond 1 earlier in this season, I was Diamond 1 in Season 3, but every single season in between these two seasons, because a lot of people say, oh, Huz, you never got back to Diamond 1 before Season 7, I always got back to Diamond 2. Every single season I got to Diamond 2 since Season 3. And so every single time I've got to that Diamond 3 threshold, and it's been the exact same every single season. It's been a massive jump. And that's what I'd say. For you as an individual, what should you determine as high rating? Something that is challenging to you. Something that is potentially something out of your reach. Who knows? You know, to me, low rating is something that is achievable. I think that's the easiest way to define it as an individual. So if you're a gold player, gold to you shouldn't be considered as high rating because you got that. It's achievable for you. But is platinum high rating for you? Arguably. Have you got it yet? No, it's kind of high rating. You know, that's how I would define this. And again, that's where the separation comes. So as a community, diamond is high rating, but as an individual, diamond is different for me. And that's what I'd say. I think it's the healthiest approach to look at this because, again, I've had several people, you know, say to me, Diamond 5 is low rating. What rating? I say, what rating are you? I'm silver. You can't really say that, you know. Again, sure, you can have an opinion like that, but it doesn't really make sense. You know, if you're silver and you call diamond low rating, what does that make you? What does that make gold? What does that make platinum? It just doesn't really add up to me. I think most people that do have these kind of snarky, cynical opinions about what is high rating, a lot of the time just want to make people feel insignificant. That they're kind of angry about their own rating. I'm a silver, I'm talking to this diamond player. Oh, you're not high rating. I think it's just kind of trying to take people a peg down. When again, as a community as a whole, we've obviously discussed what is high rating. But as an individual, I'd be interested to let you know, you guys can tell me, you know, some people may have, I'm silver, I don't consider gold high rating, but I consider platinum high rating because that's 2 leagues up. I'd really be interested to know what people think and feel because, again, it's a topic that, I don't know if many debates happen about it, but discussion happens about it all the time. All the time. And people ask me about it all the time too, when I'm streaming especially. So I just thought I'd get my opinion out there. So just to clarify, while we end. So as a community as a whole, I would consider Platinum high rating and Diamond 5 higher rating. And then obviously Master and Challenger are the extremes of League of Legends. But then as an individual, I would consider Diamond 3 high rating because that's where I feel League of Legends changes the most. And that is where I find whenever I am Diamond 3 and above, it feels competitive. I actually feel like I am playing League and every single thing that I do, you know, everything that I do counts. If I type, like, if you notice, if you watch the Climb to Master series at the beginning of the season, notice how many people typed when I was in Diamond 1, when I was in Diamond 2. People don't type, and that's why I say you never need communication to go high in rating, because the higher rating you go, people communicate less. They focus more on their actual gameplay and ping systems, because if they're typing and trying to type too much, explain too much, you're going to get wrecked. And that's why I always say to people, never take, you know, whenever I mute people, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'm just reducing that line of communication so everybody can focus more on gameplay, and ping system is sufficient. You know, that's the exact way. And I know some people get a bit like, oh, the ping system's annoying. They're actually looking to implement a muting ping system, which I think is well needed, because some people are too, you know, they're too childish to use the ping system, unfortunately. But that's pretty much it. That's going to be the topic for today. This is a conversation, though, so I want to hear from you. Do you agree with me where I would kind of say that Platinum is high rating for the community as a whole when the average player is Silver 4? But then secondly, what rating are you? And then what rating would you consider low rating? What would you consider high rating? I suppose I didn't really say what was low rating for me. Low rating for me would probably be gold and below. The reason for it is because, again, every single season I take a fresh account, do placements, and where do I end up every single season? Gold. I get gold straight away. So again, that to me isn't, that's kind of lower rating. If I can get that straight away, for me as an individual, that was what I would consider low rating. And again, this isn't a trigger thing. I'm not trying to trigger gold people calling you low rating. It's as a personal thing that it shouldn't really affect other people, but it's always interesting to know. So again, let me know. Like the video. If you've got any topics you want me to cover, leave them in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.